Hey guys, Cadin here, and let me just say, Epic has been on a roll with these recent unvaults. First the heavy shotgun, now the kind of OG burst AR. With its return to the game, you're probably wondering how it performs against the other ARs, mainly the Scar, because we all know nothing beats the Red Eye. We'll be comparing the stats of both weapons and seeing which of these is the better pick. So without further ado, let's get into the comparison. Also use my code, thanks. We'll start out by talking about the Scar. The Scar is a full auto assault rifle that comes in all 5 rarities, with the gray doing 30 damage, green doing 31, blue 33, purple 35, and gold 36. It has a fire rate of 5.5, mag size of 30, and reload speeds of 2.75 for gray, 2.62 for green, 2.5 for blue, 2.38 for purple, and 2.25 for gold. The damage ranges on this weapon go from 50 to 100 meters, where at max range it will be doing 67% of its max damage. Let's move on to the Famas now. The Famas is a 2-round burst rifle that comes in all 5 rarities, but each rarity deals 1 more damage than the Scar of that same rarity. It also has a fire rate of 3.95, mag size of 20, and reload speeds of 2.86 for gray, 2.73 for green, 2.6 for blue, 2.47 for purple, and 2.34 for gold. The Famas has the same damage ranges as the Scar if you recall those, which isn't very surprising considering how they were both weapons from Chapter 1. On paper, both of these weapons are very similar, but there are some very big and important differences between these two guns. First off, we should compare accuracy, and just an important note, when I show a comparison video of the two ARs, the Famas will always be the video on the right, and the Scar will always be on the video on the left. Also, most of these weapon comparisons will be using the gold rarity unless I say otherwise. Got that? Alright, good. When standing completely still, both weapons have incredibly similar hip-fire accuracy. I went into Photoshop to compare the two, and it looks like the Famas is maybe 1 pixel more accurate, but who really cares about that? Let's just say they're the same and move on. Getting first shot accuracy as quickly as possible is an important factor in long-range fights, unless you have a red eye or attack AR. So let's compare how quick each AR reaches first shot accuracy when coming out of a sprint. The Scar wins in this category, with it taking 0.9 seconds to reach 100% accuracy, while the Famas takes 1.32 seconds to reach 100%. However, this is actually the only category where the Scar wins. In this comparison of the running accuracy, the Famas is twice as accurate as the Scar. Its accuracy is even more evident in a shooting comparison. Alright, so for these next 2 clips, I'll be showing the blue rarity comparison first, because the gold rarity comparison is shocking, to say the least. In this standing still clip, you can see that the Scar starts out way less accurate than the Famas, but as time goes on, the Famas grows a little less accurate, but no matter what, it is always more accurate than the Scar. Even in the strafing accuracy comparison, which I expected the Scar to win, the Famas is always more accurate. Now, for the gold rarities. For those unfamiliar, the purple and gold Famas have a special property where they can reset all the way back to 100% accuracy after each burst, making this comparison look embarrassing for the Scar. It's even worse when you look at both of them strafing. While doing this comparison, I was in shock by how accurate the Famas was. The difference between the blue and gold rarities of this weapon is like night and day. But as all of you know, accuracy isn't everything. At the end of the day, for a weapon to be good, it has to kill quickly. So let's take a look at the time to kill of both of these weapons. On screen now is a table where I'll be showing the time to kill at 100 and 200 HP of the Scar, the Famas in theory, and the actual Famas. I'll explain what that means in a few seconds. Keep in mind that this is assuming that you are within the maximum damage range and are hitting all of your shots. Now let's start out with a Scar. The Scar can take down a 100 health opponent in 0.36 seconds and a 200 health opponent in 0.91 seconds. Moving on, I'll explain what the difference between the two Famas categories is. The in theory category refers to the fire rate that the stats say the Famas has, which is 3.95. The actual category is, well, the actual fire rate of the Famas that I found through video analysis. Now then, the in-theory time to kill of the Famas is 0.51 seconds at 100 health and 1.27 seconds at 200 health, so slower than the Scar. Now for the actual time to kill, which I calculated by adding the time between bursts to the time between shots of the Famas, and actually I should probably show you what I'm talking about. The time between shots in a burst is 0.16 seconds, and the time between bursts is 0.38 seconds, and quick disclaimer, this may not be 100% accurate because I found these numbers through my video editing software and That thing's kinda booty, to be completely honest. Basically, I started with the time between shots and alternated between adding 0.16 and 0.38 to the time, which gave me time to kills of 0.54 at 100 health and 1.24 at 200 health, so still slower than the Scar. But what if you were at a further distance where you couldn't reliably land every shot at full auto? What if you were to tap fire and only shoot when you had 100% accuracy? Well, that certainly changes things. For this particular scenario, we are assuming that our opponent is at 200 health and we are still within the maximum damage range. I'll start by showing the gold rarity comparison. As you can see, the Scar takes more than double the amount of time it takes for the Famas to kill someone while tap firing, making the Famas the better pick for long range. But wait, what about the blue rarities? Well, I'll talk some more before I show you those. The blue rarity of the Scar, if you recall, does 1 less damage than the blue rarity of the Famas, and also takes an additional bullet to kill someone at 200 health. However, the blue Famas doesn't have instant accuracy reset like its purple and gold counterparts. So how does this change things? Well, let's find out. Even without instant reset, the blue Famas beats the blue Scar by almost a full second. This just goes to show how much better the Famas is at range than the Scar. So after all that testing, which assault rifle is the better pick? Overall, I'd have to say it's the Famas. It may be somewhat lacking in the time to kill department, but it makes up for that by doing more damage, being way more accurate, and overall just being better at being an assault rifle. That's not to say that the Scar is useless though. As previously mentioned, it does have a faster full auto time to kill, and if you prefer to not run an SMG, it could be used as one. But what do you guys think? Is the Scar better than the Famas, or is the Famas better than the Scar? Feel free to discuss in the comments below. But that's it from me. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and use my code if you have nothing better to do. See ya.